Hi, it's Jean at Kept in Stitches, where we are just like a little old-fashioned quilting bee, but instead a stitching bee, because Kept in Stitches isn't just about quilting, it's about all forms of stitching, such as embroidery, slow stitching, cross stitch, crochet, applique, hand quilting, any form of stitching, whatever you love or you enjoy stitching, you're welcome to come and join us. So, what do I have for you today? Today is the week in review, where I show you what has happened at Kept in Stitches this week. A little bit I'll share with you of what has happened at Kept in Stitches this week. So the first thing and the biggest thing is we did finish, and we'll try and find the top so we can show it the right direction here. We did finish the friendship quilt on the long arm, which we can't get it all in. I'll just kind of lift it up for you so you can see. But this quilt is one that was designed and used as a sew along in my Facebook group, which my Facebook group is all the binding is on. That's the only thing that's left is sewing the binding down on this, which I've started to do. But that, as soon as the binding's done, that is complete and finished. Some of the other gals in the group are still working on theirs, but soon, hopefully, we'll have some show and tell on that also. But what I was saying is the group, my Facebook group that I keep referring to, is Friends of Kept in Stitches Quilting Stitching Bee. So if you are interested in that at any time, that link will always be in the description box. So all you have to do is click on it, answer a couple questions, and ask to join. And that will be there just so you have that information. A couple of the other things that have been going on at Kept in Stitches this past week was from the former tip demo on yo-yos. I didn't like the pink yo-yos that I had originally put on here, so I switched them out and put yellow. Everything is now stitched down. There's going to be some embellishment on there, but everything, all the applique, the yo-yos, the leaves are now on there. I added a border to it. It's layered with backing and batting. That's why the safety pins are in there. So now I am ready to do some embellishing and some hand quilting on it. So that has had progress made on it this week. One of the other things that I was supposed to be working on, and I did, I only got one block done, but I did get one block done on the Mystery Civil War era quilt. So that was another thing that was accomplished. The other is, I said that I was going to work on the layered hearts. So I've got this block almost complete. And I have this one, prepared, pinned down, ready to go as soon as this one is done. The way, just to add a little in here, the way that I work on multiple projects is I actually have a little sheet that I plan what I want to do for that day. Usually I will plan a week ahead, sometimes only a couple days ahead, but I list everything that I want to do for that day, for the week, and plan it out that way. And then I schedule blocks of time for each one of those. So I use the focus feature on the laptop that will give me a period of time that I am supposed to focus on that one thing. And I will take that and I will work on that. Maybe it's a half hour, maybe it's an hour, whatever it may be, but I will work on that project for that specific time. When the focus feature on the laptop tells me that time is up, I switch to the other project. So that way I'm able to get at least a little bit of time in on everything that I intended to work on, and I get a lot more accomplished that way. So that is how I do that. We'll leave that one for the end because that was a new project. Not supposed to start new projects without finishing the other ones. But hey, what stitcher or quilter can do that? Not many. And if you can, congratulations to you. But I have also been working and stitching on the cloth journal that was also a stitch along in the Facebook group. And I have 3 little pages for the cloth journal that I've been working on. Got some stitching done on this one this week. We also got more stitching done on this one this week, which I was holding that upside down. It really doesn't make much difference, but it was upside down. And we got more stitching done on this one this week, which what I have to show is, and I don't know if it'll show up on the camera. Let me see if they'll focus. But on this block here, there are little dots there. I think you can see it. There are little dots all over the background of this fabric, and some of them go in circles. Where those circles are, sorry, I just dropped something on the floor. Where those circles are, I am doing colonial knots on all those tiny little circles, and that's taking time. So that's what I worked on this slow stitching one. Thus the reason for it being called slow stitching. But and that's okay, because I dropped what I've already showed you, so that doesn't matter. But just to give you an idea, and there is information about this also. There are files in my Facebook group that give some PDFs that you can download that give instructions for doing some of this cloth stitching. So just so you know, that's in the Facebook group. But this is the foundation. That is a little book. That is a cloth book that when these are done, they are trimmed down and they are attached as a page in here. And then you just flip through it, and it's called a cloth stitching journal. Just to give you an idea of what that is. And then on our Tip Demo Tuesday, I was showing how I go about pulling things and coming up with an idea for a page for the cloth stitching. And I was working on laying this one out at the time, which it didn't have the things that are attached to it now, but it's been stitched, trimmed, and now it's ready to start embellishing and stitching, which these are just pinned on with ideas. It doesn't mean that that's what will stay and that will remain, but that's kind of how you work on it. You come up with an idea, try it out. You can always change your mind along the way. But getting ready to stitch on that one, and then this little one was the other one, which that's supposed to look like a cloud up there in the sky, the bunny in the middle, and just some things that may be ideas on what I may add to it along the way. So that is what is that. And then the new project that I started. There's always, you know, what we call squirrels going on around us, getting our attention, distracting us, you know, from what we are doing. Well, in another group that I belong to, a picture was posted and saying, how pretty is this, of a project like slow stitching that was in a frame. There wasn't any designer, any information or anything given. It was probably from Pinterest. I don't know. I couldn't find it. But no pattern or anything, but I loved it and decided, oh, I've got to do that. So no dimensions or anything, but the first thing was it did have this flower in the center with an old doily going around it. So that is what started this. And on the basis of that and the size of this that I found, which mine is an old antique doily that actually had a linen inside in it, but it had holes and stuff in it. So it was perfect for cutting that out and using for this flower. And this is, there is white background fabric on there. I'm sorry, it doesn't show up well in the camera. But this is a little larger project. I'll back up. It's called My Little Ray of Sunshine. And those are the words that are on it. But I have gotten all the words stitched down on it. I've got the stem stitched down, which I used a cross stitch going down that stem. The leaves are stitched down. There's going to be more embellishing on them. And all but one, yep, only one petal left to stitch down. This is going to be stitched differently too. It's just floppy and everything. There'll be a lot that will be embellished and put on this yet. But that is one of the other things that I have been working on in the cottage this week. I believe that's basically pretty much what has been accomplished at Kept in Stitches this week. Now, I always like to, while on video, because that makes you more accountable, I like to give myself a challenge for the upcoming week. Something to do. And if you put it out there, it makes it more apt that you're going to work on it and that you're going to do it because you told people you were. So I have had this little, supposed to be a little zipper pouch bag that I did not originally make and start. There was another gal that came over and she had a funny little written pattern, and we couldn't figure out how to put it together according to the directions. But here's the lining, here's the other piece, and it has sat around like this for I don't know how many years. But I came across it looking for something else the other day, and I thought, you know, it's about time, now that I have watched a couple other friends that are YouTubers, and I'll go ahead and mention them, the ones that seem to work on zipper pouches, totes, that type of thing, that I watch most frequently is Mona Did What, and I will put her link in the description box, and also Marie's Scrappy Creations. And they show a lot of putting these together, and Mona does a lot with the layering of zippers and things like this. So I'm going to watch her videos, and I'm going to figure out how to put this together, and I'm finally going to finish it. I hope that's my challenge for the week, is to get this finished so I can say, okay, I figured it out. It's done. It's complete. So that will be my challenge for the upcoming week. And also, because I mentioned Marie's Scrappy Creations, she invited me, and yesterday we taped a little sit-down sew and chat, to where she was working on something, I was working on something, and we just chatted and talked about, okay, what Marie's Scrappy Creations does, what Captain Stitches does, a little bit of our backgrounds, showed what we've been working on, what we're doing, that type of thing. It was just a fun, informal, you know, sit down, sew and chat. So that will be upcoming. I don't know when she's going to drop that video, but she will let you know, and I will let you know. You can go and check out her channel. The description will be in the box, and you can check out Mona Did What on her channel, which I was also impromptu, didn't know, was on a sew and chat with her that she had live on Zoom. And so when you check out Mona Did What, you'll be able to find that also. So that's what has happened at Captain Stitches this week. I want you all to have a great upcoming week. Hopefully you will get a lot of what you want to do done in the upcoming week. Make sure that if you like what I show you, I have the Tip Demo Tuesdays every Tuesday, where I will share a tip and give a little demonstration on some type of technique on Tip Demo Tuesdays. Also, I almost forgot to remind you that starting this week, I will be doing the morning stitch. The plans for my morning stitch will be that I will be going live on Monday and Thursday mornings at 11:30 Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And the reason for that time is so those of you in the West, okay, it may be a little early, but at least you should be up and you can, you know, join in. So look for that on Monday and Thursday mornings, the morning stitch, which will just be an informal. I'll actually be sitting in my stitching chair back here, working on something and chatting along with you, answering questions, just having a good old time and a chat stitching. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Take care. Check out those links, and I'll see you soon. And remember, I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye.